Welcome. This reading is about the upcoming journey where Mars is in retrograde and traveling from Leo back into Cancer and coming back. And this is a really long journey that we deal with in December, January, February, March, April. So until Mars will be back in the place where it started, it will take a couple of months where we have to deal with this change in energy, because Mars is about our life force, right? And the lion in our chart is about our heart space and our passion for life and our childlike creations. And everybody has a fifth house in the chart, and everybody has a Leo somewhere in its chart. And if you don't know where that is, just go to astro.com, draw your own chart and see where the placements are in your own astrology. And this Mars retrograde is really special because Mars retrogrades into Cancer. And so we face this time being a little bit cut off of our energy, or better to say it's changing, and we have the chance to look deeply into our emotional truth, into our way of dealing with energy as well, and the action we can take on it. And this one is about our own integrity, our own truth. And if you want, you can take a look back at the last retrograde of Mars at the end of 22. It was at the end of October in 22. But it was a little bit different because it was a retrograde in Gemini. So that was a little bit about communication, where you acted in a way that you may be reviewing today. What did you decide back then, and what is it that you wished for, and what wants to be corrected? You know, if you look back, you can see, oh, this is what I did, and it didn't turn out like I wanted it to. So the time between October, at the end of October of 22 until now, what didn't work out? So what can you change right now in your actions to get to the place where you really want to go, or where your heart wants to go? But if you want to look at a bigger picture, you can look back when Mars was last retrograde in Leo. And it was like it is now, right? And it was in the end of 2009 and until the beginning of 2010. It didn't go back into Cancer. It just stayed in Leo. And to look back, what was happening in your life back then? What would you do differently? And however you decide what was important in that time, can you look at the place of Leo in your chart? So these areas of life are affected by this Mars transit right now. And so that's about re-evaluating our decisions and finding the truth beneath all the actions we take. What is the real truth? What is the truth in your heart? What is your integrity in all of this? And do you have the willingness and the courage to rewrite your story? Because that's what this heart of the lion tells you too, that there is something in your heart that you want to accomplish, that you want to realize, and can you see the bigger picture where you decided things that are not working for you or that didn't work for you, and are you willing and daring to rewrite your story? And in the time Mars is in Cancer, And that will be in the beginning of January. I think on the 6th of January, Mars will retrograde into Cancer again. Then the energy will change again, and it will be good to use this transit as a way to look at your emotional patterns. And Leo in Cancer feels really different than Mars in Cancer. I meant in Cancer feels really different than Mars in Leo, because in Cancer Mars is in his fall, so it doesn't feel really good in Cancer. And we can see in these moments where we're not willing to be responsible for our own emotions, take responsibility for what you feel, where we stepped into blaming others, or where we choose to be passive aggressive. And that's just a way not to take responsibility for what you really feel. And this time is about understanding, and understanding what lies beneath, and in all that you see, that's a time for inner work on the one hand, and on the other hand it's taking new actions to get into the place where you live your own integrity. And it's inviting us to look from our love for life and for our heart energy and our childlike creation, and to bring these questions into our lives, to see where we can nurture ourselves and the parts that want to be lived and realized. So that's a really powerful transit that is happening, and we can use it not to feel powerless. A better way is to just look back and to see, oh, this is what I thought I would create, but I didn't. And maybe I can do something else where I step into the real path that I want to walk on, to fulfill my heart's desire and to be in an emotional state that I really want to be in. And so now I get into the sign that I'm reading today. Welcome, Leo, to my reading, and it's I will draw a couple of cards for you, and to see where these 3 months are heading for you. And so I look at the actual situation. So I draw 3 cards from the Lenormand, and then I see what is willing and able to be released or to decay, or whatever wants to be seen in this. Where can we let something go or be, and reflect on this card. So and maybe we can see where the shadow and the light is. And I think this one wants to be seen as well. And where our new path is heading. I draw. I see this one. And I want to have a card my horses' archetypes as well. Oh, there we have a volunteer. 2 volunteers. And then we want to see what you don't see coming. And that's what we look at, the astrology cards, what you don't see coming. And I think in this area I want to have a dragon card as well. So yeah, that's this one. And I almost never use these ones because there are so many, but today I will. And this one, and this one, this one, and this one. These are for the things that you don't see coming, and then we want to see what are the hidden things to be aware of, and that's where I want to draw a tarot card. I think these 2. I lost 2. And we want to know what is supporting you. Oh, there we go. 3. You got 3 of them. And we want to know what is supporting you from our familiar deck. And I see this one and this one. And then we see the next phase. We will draw cards for the next phase and for the message of spirit. We draw it on our way, right? And so the first thing that we want to look at is the situation you are in right now. And it is a crossroad. And it's what a beautiful path. And maybe you don't want to feel it that way in the moment because you are in a place where you have to overcome your own limitations, right? You have to get out of your comfort zone. You are on a crossroad. You have to decide things. But what I want to tell you is you are on the right path. You are heading into the area where you try to you follow your North Star, and that's what you are really doing. You're following your North Star. You keep going into this area where you are best, and it's beautiful because it's showing your passion. Where you are heading is exactly, where you are is exactly where you need to be, and the crossroad is that you have to decide at one point where you want to head next. But the one thing that is in your picture right now is your North Star, and that's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to start this reading. So even if you don't feel good at the moment because you have to overcome this threshold, You know, that's not a tower as it is in the tarot. That's a tower that is like a boundary that you have to overcome, or a threshold that you have to overcome to get out of your comfort zone, to get beyond this line. And maybe that's a place where you never have been. This can be that you have to decide at one point to leave your country and to get into a different country. So that can be a decision you have to do too in this time where you experience this energy of the Leo retrograde. Maybe there is something you wanted to do in 2009 and you didn't. Maybe you decided it differently and you allowed yourself to stay in a place that hasn't enough growth for you. But we never decide wrong things. We just don't like the outcome, so we decide again, right? So that's a beautiful way to start, because we can see you are on the threshold, on this crossroads into your future, where you follow your own North Star, and you are on a really good track right now. And what needs to decay, or what can decay, and that's an interesting card, because it is telling us that the aggression and the optimism is we can let go of this part of our life. And maybe there is something like the invisible forces that are behind your own way of manifesting things. And that's when I would say that's about this aggression, that you think you have to do everything to create something, and to know that it's not all about doing. It's not about, and it's the invitation to, when Mars is in retrograde in Leo, it shows us that where we took actions that were not helpful, and maybe that was a time when you last went into this space of retrograde. Maybe that was a time where you were aggressive against other people, and where you played this blame game, and where you put your aggression against someone. And that's what you can lay to rest now, because you learned that you have to take responsibility for your own actions, for your own emotions, and for the outcome you experience, because that was your action. And if you look back on 2009 until now, that's a long time where we took action in a way that maybe wasn't as helpful. Maybe we thought about optimism can be something toxic too, if we always stay in this hopeful place, but we don't take action. This can be something too, right? So this is something, and that's your part to see where that fits in your life. What is your intuition about it? And I would love to know, what is it that you think about if you think that this is a part of your life that can be let go, and where you can let yourself be, and what is a meaning, and that's what this retrograde is about too, a meaning that can decay. That's done, right? And we can see the shadow and the light, the patterns within, and we see the falling. And then we have a lot of thought patterns, right? We have the falling and being taken care of, and on the one hand, it is the the belief that we are taken care of. Or maybe it's your way of believing that you are not taken care of. So maybe that's a shadow side and a pattern that you dealt with, right? This is the part where the patterns that were shown in this last time of your journey, your patterns you used for developing your own path. And maybe that's depending on other people. That's like falling, but someone else took you in, or someone else helped you along the way. But necropolis, that seems for me is a pattern of catastrophizing. So are you sure that you trust life enough to hold you when you are falling? And are you trustful enough to see this whole thing as a journey you are on, and that you are learning to trust life to unfold as you want it to? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about your North Star you're heading into. If you catastrophize, and if you don't think that there is someone holding you, and that life is holding you and loving you and caring for you, what is it that you are searching for, right? And so to step into this place of trusting life and trusting your journey, trusting the next step, is it something you can work on in this retrograde? And it's often about, if we think about this card, there is someone falling and someone is taking them or holding their hand up. It's about nurturing, right? It's about being there for other people. Did you experience other people being there for you? Or did you try to force other people to be there for you? Do you think that you have to do something to make people help you? Or do you trust life enough to know that there will be help and nurturing for you? And on the other hand, it always reminds me of what do you think is the one thing you can do to nurture yourself on your journey? Can you hold this passion inside of you and use it to see where you are not in your own helpful place, because you don't nurture yourself? And there can be aggression against yourself too, right? If we don't nurture ourselves, if we don't move our body, if we don't eat in a specific way that nurtures us, if we have self-destructive behaviors, that is something that can be laid to rest right now, because it is self-destructive. And it's a pattern that we have the chance to leave behind in this journey that we are on in this retrograde phase. So can you use this area or use this phase to let your, and this is beautiful too, to step into your own power to nurture yourself, and not to wait for someone to do so. And this is the 60-second gene key, and it's about the journey from intellect to precision into impeccability. And that's a beautiful journey from obsessive behavior. That's the shadow phase, is an obsessive behavior, and this can be something like this, right? To depend on other people, and be aggressive yourself against yourself, and to step into precision from the mind, allowing the mind to take over and to compromise your way of nurturing yourself. And That's a beautiful journey you are on. And we had 2 of these cards. And that's not working with the light. Can we see this here? I can see this here. And this I want the 27th. Is Merlin's Spirit. This card is called Merlin's Spirit. Redemption of the masculine, fierce sensitivity, new hero's journey. And that's beautiful, fitting to the Mars retrograde in Leo. 2 stallions, father and son, meet on common ground. The heart between them gathers strength as they share the breath of life. Hope springs from the depth of an ancient wound, causing even the stones to weep. Power and gentleness find a new way to coexist, balance, and finally heal the immense injustice perpetrated by and on the masculine body, mind, and spirit. And this can be your own, this can be a moment where you can heal your father wound, where you can heal the masculine energies that were in your life, to use this power of the lion and the Mars in this lion space, to use this as a moment to heal your way of acting, and to heal the acting and masculine power that brought you into the place where you didn't know what really proper action is. And that's a beautiful connection to this fire prince. Maybe you experienced masculine energies as aggression. Maybe you grew up in a family where a lot of aggression was shown, and it wasn't about nurturing. It wasn't about the heartfelt energy of passion. It was about aggression, and it didn't allow you to grow into a human being that knows exactly what masculine energy looks like. And that's an amazing time now to reflect on these questions and to see what is it that you really want to experience and that you want to bring to this earth, and what is appropriate action for the nurturing you want to bring into the world and that you want to bring to yourself, right? And this card, the card 9, is language of the breath. Social sensual awareness, heart intelligence, non-verbal communication. A horse's breath moves out from her body, so does the wisdom of the heart. When you use your entire body as an organ of perception, you embrace the world and sense your place in it more deeply. And that's in addition to this one, it is beautiful because it shows us that there is this new exploration. I think it's really an exploration. It can be a journey to walk into the places where you came from and how you acted on these old patterns that were brought to you by other people. And this can be, and even this shadow side can be, you grew up in codependent relationships. You know a lot about codependent relationships and about how to nurture others because they just give if you give, And this is the moment where we heal ourselves from this part of our life, where we heal the masculine part of stepping into your own power and acting from a place of integrity. That's beautiful, because that's a lovely journey. You are within in the depth of this journey right now, and maybe you feel torn between all of these patterns and you don't know where to go, you don't know how to act. That's perfectly fine, because it's your journey to step into the place where, and we have the ninth house as the place where what we, this card is about our what we don't see coming, and the ninth house is the exploration that brings us into different places. The ninth house is a house where we find our higher meaning. This is the house of beliefs, and that's the house of higher learning. So maybe this is something you don't see coming, because you maybe have in one place of your life or one area of your life, you find that there is something emerging from this, and maybe there is a dream, there is a belief that you don't see coming, that will emerge with your work that you are doing right now. And what you don't see coming, and it's, wow, that's beautiful, that you really, you get it. And that's what a lovely card to draw. You conquer your demons. So you really worked a lot on these old patterns, and maybe you are in a place right now where you don't know what to do next, and you don't know how to deal with this masculine energy and how to decide in a healthy way. But it will come, because you conquer your demons. You will leave these patterns behind, and you will make it. That's beautiful. And that's, these tea leaves are a little bit, and I think that's a claw, and I don't want to always depend on the things that are on this. That's conquering your demons, and the claw is for me, it's something that you conquer the things that hold you back. And this can be something like a pattern that comes always back when your emotions run high, and it's can be an addictive pattern. Maybe there is addictive behavior, there was or is addictive behavior in your family, and you will get out of the claw of this, because then we have the V for victory. And you will let people go that are in this place of these old patterns. And maybe you experienced other people that are not in a way responsible for their own actions. Maybe you have a lot of people who play the blame game, and you can see through this right now, because you are able to stay in your own integrity, and that's beautiful. And you are protected, you are guided, and that's what you don't see coming, that life is really taking care of you. Maybe you don't believe that life does, but there are angels coming your way, and that's yeah, you are on your path right now. You are definitely in the place where you will achieve the things that you want to achieve. And that's a beautiful thing. You will leave behind these old patterns, and you will set boundaries in a healthy way. And maybe you never experienced this, but you are crystal clear right now, crystal clear, like the star you are following. And that's really amazing. You did so much work. And I want to honor you for this, because that's really hard work you were on. And you persevered. That's great. And you got out of your own way. And you are on this threshold, you are on a brink to get into the place where you want to be. I'm pretty sure that this is a really important time for you right now to stay put, to follow your dream, to keep going and start nurturing yourself. Stop blaming yourself, stop being aggressive against yourself, and define masculine energy again. And that's beautiful, because when the Mars enters the Cancer part in January, you can see how you deal with emotions, how you can nurture yourself, how you can change the patterns that are beneath these actions you took before. But now is the time where you can leave behind the things that are not good for you. And whatever that is in your life, maybe that's an addiction, maybe that's a pattern where you treated yourself badly, where you hurt yourself or whatever. This is a time of your life where you can leave this behind, because you are in the place right now where you can. Wow, that's really beautiful. And then we have the cards where we see what is the balance, what brings the balance, and what is the thing you can be aware of. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow. And it's the confirmation that you often searched for people that are not nurturing. And this is your karmic tribe coming your way. This is being in the and maybe you felt that you were not in the you didn't grow up in the right family. Maybe that's what you felt. And maybe you felt like a stranger in a strange family, and you can search and you can choose again now, because you have the soul tribe coming your way, and you can choose the people you are with, and that's even if there are people in your life that are not in your path and that are staying in this way of dealing with difficulties, you can just let them go. You can let them be as they are, because we are not here to change other people. We are here to bring ourselves into our own home, and to guide ourselves into. We bring each other home, and that's not a fight. That will never be a fight. If we bring each other home, that is something where we ground ourselves, and that's the Queen of Pentacles. You are so abundant, and I hope that you know that you are, because look at her, where she has all these flowers, and she has all the knowledge, and she has all these butterflies here, and there is so much beauty in this, and she is connected to the earth. She's connected to the brilliance and to the abundance that she has. And that's where you step into these places where you are choosing your tribe, where you say, no, that's not who I am anymore. I don't want to stay in this fight. And this can be relationships leaving your life because you choose so. That's your choice. It's not happening in a difficult way. It is being yourself and allowing yourself to be in this place where you can decide, no, that's not my choice anymore. And what a beautiful place to be in this area. And then we see the things supporting you, and it's the untouchable. And how beautiful is this, right? This is knowing exactly what it wants, knowing exactly what to let go, and knowing exactly where to go. And that's not touchable by anything. And I put it here on the fire prints. You are untouchable. You worked your way through all of these negative masculine expressions. And maybe there are a lot of relationships in your life where you were confronted with aggression and people who didn't act appropriately. And that's what you let go right now, because now you are untouchable. And you step into, and that's lovely too, because that's what the lion heart represents. It's the innocence. It's the innocence of the childlike nature of the lion that is in this innocence to create from this part and to be in a world that you really want to see. And that's allowing things to come in and not being, and that's, when you overcame all these aggressions and all these different ways of how to use masculine energy, you are now in a place, maybe you went through a phase where you didn't trust anybody because you were always expecting these aggressions to come up. And today you are in this place of being untouchable in your own security of your emotions. That's what this journey is about. And you can step from this place where you secure yourself. You can step into the innocence of stepping into new relationships. And maybe that's something that is heading your way, where you can allow yourself to be this grounded and to be this secure in your way of relating to other people. That's a beautiful journey you are on. Yes, and that's destroying those relationships. That's amazing too. That's like destroyer. In this, there is a line drawn, and you destroy these relationships that are not in this integrity, right? That are not in the place where they nurture others. And so we have the womb and we have the castle. So you don't put yourself again in a place where you are not accessible by other people. You can let go of these behaviors where you pulled back and where you took it to yourself. If you are confronted in this way by distorted masculine energy, you try to secure yourself by putting yourself in a castle, in a place that has big walls, right? And so that's where you stop doing this. You destroy, because you don't have to stay in those relationships. You can just allow yourself to put up boundaries, and maybe if someone doesn't get it, you can step out of relationships. And maybe that's something you never allowed yourself to do. Maybe that's something that you stayed in relationships because you thought that wasn't appropriate to leave them because they were not able to handle themselves in a specific way. But we are not here to teach each other. We are not here, we don't have a assignment to make other people grow. We don't. We cannot do this. We take ourselves home. We can show other people how to deal with things in a different way, but we cannot make them do it. And that's a beautiful beautiful card, the Herald of Change. You know, you are the herald of change right now. You are the sign this happens in, and that's exactly this thing. You are on your way, and there, you know, that's a feminine expression, right? There is a horse, and there is a lot of power in this card, and there is this light shining from this person's heart and shining from this horse's heart, and the light behind it, and the sun is shining, and that's for me that's a great expression for this leonine power that is inside of you, wanting to change the world. And you will, because you changed your reality. You changed the things that happened to you in your life, and that's an amazing thing to do. That's what you did, is a lot of work. That's what I can tell you. That's a lot of work, and you know that it is, and you experienced this work in your life as in the first years, I guess, that from 2009 until today, you experienced a lot of things that were challenging your way of looking at masculine energy. But you really did it. You worked it through, and you did a lot of work stepping into the masculine energy that is productive, that is creating, that is manifesting, and that's coming from a nurturing place. It's coming from a heart-centered place of Leo energy, from this heart of the lion. And we'll see what is coming up. What will, I think these are. We will see what will come up in the next month for you, where you are on this journey, and we'll see. This can be a person coming your way. This can be someone heading your way. A masculine energy that is about creation, that is about the connection of being connected to the earth, to everything that you own, and you step into and this is the Hierophant, is often for me a card that is connected to the ninth house, that is this higher learning, knowing the staircase into bliss, and this is a beautiful card of the Five of Pentacles, because it is often a card of the Five of Pentacles is a card of lack, right? It's a card where you feel that you don't have enough resources, and maybe that's true in your world right now, but the Five is a card with an easy solution, because you have the key to the door. You always had it, you just don't look up. If you feel this lack right now, you just don't look up to see the key in this card. And what's coming next, it's heading into a direction maybe you didn't expect. It's taking up speed, and it's bringing you into the way into the world that you didn't expect, and it will turn your life upside down, and you will leave behind. And that's where you have the next phase, where you have to experience yourself by trusting other people. If you expect other people to do something that is not okay, maybe you have people in your life that are doing things that are not okay. And so that's your moment of letting that go, letting those people go, destroying those relationships, because that's not where you are heading. You allow life to turn you upside down, and you are heading into the world to embrace something and to birth something you're really longing for. And that's the King of Swords is the one who has his mind in check. That's there we can go back into the place where we keep our mind in check, not to get our emotions. And that's maybe the second time, the second journey, the second part of the journey where you're heading into the place of abundance. And on the bottom of the deck there is the Six of Cups, and it is the reviewing our own emotional behavior, reviewing everything that is in our own way of being, and to see these patterns, to look in a loving way. And that's what I want to remind you. It's not about judgment. When you find things that you didn't do in the way you wanted them to do, that's not about judgment. It's about looking in a loving way on the things that are really good in your life and that were and it's the spirit and the universe telling you something here, right? Allowing this to happen. And the Divine Mother's love. If we don't trust our divine connection, we can feel like a lost child, uncertain, insecure, and afraid. Yet when that child knows that the mother is always there, waiting, naturally stepping in when needed, but otherwise trusting in the child's ability to live his own life, then getting lost for a time is just part of the adventure. It's not frightening, it's freeing. That's what you are doing right now. Well done, Leo. Really well done. What a journey you are on. And use this time to clean up the space in your realities, in your relationships, where you allow things to happen that you are not in for anymore. You learned your lesson. You left all the things behind, and you are heading into a new way of using your masculine energy, and that like you never have used it before. And that's a beautiful thing, to get your own creations into this world and to be the herald of change yourself. That's where your heart is, Lion. That's where your heart is. That's what you're here to do. So with this said, I think you will have a really beautiful, intense, and nurturing way of stepping into this retrograde phase, and you will get out of it what you really wish for. It's a beautiful journey you are on, and well done, Leo. Well done. Thank you so much for being here and for liking and subscribing. That really helps the channel. And if you want to share something about it, I would love to know where this way is heading in your perception. Thank you so much, and I see you soon.